I'm Jumana Alrabia. I could consider myself as one of the most active people here in Bahrain. The reason why I am active is because I have a strong vision and a strong message that I want to send across to our society. I cannot say initially that I was very into environment, but I could say that I've been inspired from a certain person, like my sister. She's the reason why she dragged me and she motivated me to be more passionate about the environment. So here's a brief story back in 2019, you could say, like in April. Um, she was in UK and I was in Bahrain. I was a high school student and I was, going on my daily life, um, going to school, all the normal routine. And my sister, out of the sudden, or all of a sudden, just says, why don't we start a society here in Bahrain? And since she's also an environmentalist, she's studying environmental science. She's the one who opened this topic, and she was like, why don't we start a society to educate Bahraini people, youth, this
Mhm.
whole society about the importance and the significance of conserving our society, or sorry, our environment. And I was like, why not? Um, I would want to dive into other things, something that at that time it wasn't in my comfort zone.
Mhm.
So I decided to accept this challenge. I said, it's okay, let's start the society. Let's gather a few people. And we started with a group of our friends, group of our best friends, and we told them that this is what we want to do. We want to do voluntary activities, and we want to dive into the world of like environmentalism, and we want to meet all types of people who are involved in this type of initiative. So all our best friends were very supportive. And the first activity that we dove into was beach cleanups.
Mhm.
And it was a part of an organization at that time that is they were setting up like a summer beach cleanup all over Bahrain, from south to north Bahrain. Every Saturday we would pick a port and we would clean with variety of teams and organizations. And this is where I absolutely fell in love with environmentalism. I learned a lot from like picking up trash from the beaches, from the shores, from the ports. Um, I learned how like things have to be segregated, how trash does not go into one thing. It shouldn't all be in general. Things can be reused. And from there, from this specific campaign and organization that organized this whole Bahrain cleanup, after 2 months or so, many of the people that we were involved with at that time reach out to us, and they told us that you guys are inspiring, even though you just started, um, with activities. We want to collaborate with you guys, and you guys, I'm sure, could do more. So
Mhm.
that's when things were getting more exciting because we
That
diverted
was the
from,
beginning. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was the beginning. We diverted from beach cleanups. We went to like a workshop that we've used. We used like, we recycled tree branches, you could say, and we made like
Mhm.
art projects with them. We did series of workshops for children. We also organized our own event at a time back in 2020 before the pandemic started. We
Yeah.
made like a cute event that had vendors, that had like games and all that. We made it in a beach, and it's all these fun things. And we got to meet with recycling companies here in Bahrain and conduct recycling workshops with them as well, to little kids, students from Bahraini schools. And yeah, I could say that with this involvement, it unlocked a door of opportunities and fun things. And from us getting involved with small companies or small organizations, that is when I also discovered Manama Shapers back in like let's say April 2020. um, I've known about them from a long time, but they were one of the people that also was in contact with my sister and with me, to like know more about each other. We were in like
Yeah.
small communication, you could say. And I said that I also, want to be involved in another platform, since Manama Shapers is, you could say, like a huge organization here in Bahrain. It's known globally, of course. They're part of the Global Shapers. And that is when, I said, okay, I did environment. Now let's see if I could do something else. And of course, I would also help with the environment aspect whenever they need anything in the environment committee. I would also try to contribute to them because I have a lot of
Mhm.
knowledge towards that. Um, but I decided to join the Education and Employment Committee, and that is when um, another series or another things unlocked for me. You just dive into one pool and you get an
Yeah.
array of things out of this pool, and I got to know more contacts, more people who also again inspired me to join other things. So yes, this is all about me, and I believe why till this day that why am I involved in these little societies, little teams, little organizations? Just because I feel that they take a very important toll in making myself, in creating who I am. And it
Mhm.
also created a platform for me to speak out and to reach out to other youngsters like me. And you never know, Umayma, about how influential you are until you actually get like compliments, or you have these little talks with your friends. For instance,
Yeah.
ever since we started Bahrain EcoHub, we dragged our friends, our best friends, and everyone in these cleanups and stuff. And till this day, I would receive some questions. I would receive, like, from people that I would never expect. I would see, like, in our DMs, hey, where to recycle this. Or you'll see someone that will say, hey, I've never used, I mean, it's been 6 months since I've last used plastic bottles.
Yeah.
Like these little inputs that you see from people. And then you think, have I created this kind of influence? Is this what resulted from me being a part of such platforms? Is this what happens when you create something that you're passionate about? Everybody else around you gets this energy, this vibe. So when you think about that, this is when things get majestic and magical, and you get really
Yeah.
happy, and this gives you a lot of purpose. And you dig in
I think.
into environmental facts.
Mhm.
Pardon?
I think that part is really beautiful where you said, just these small things, these small changes that you're able to make. I think it really motivates you and other platforms that are also, that have different causes. And I think I could relate to that in some point. When we started receiving responses from youth and they started saying stuff like, well, we never thought that we could be a part, we never thought our voices could be heard and
Hmm.
we could speak or do things that could influence others. And I think that kind of creates a very strong impact, not only towards what we want to do, but also what we believe in. And
Exactly.
just like right now, what you guys are doing amazing. And you just keep going, you keep learning, you keep motivating others and also yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, you can please continue from there
Oh, can I?
if you'd like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, I think like this is what the message is that I wanted
Hmm.
to send today. I just wanted to also, like what you've mentioned, that we have to acknowledge our voice. Um,
Hmm.
we have to believe and stand with what we believe in. And the aspect of environment, I've learned a lot of things, and I could say till this day, I want to learn more. Um, I'll tell you like a small thing about me. I feel
Go
really
ahead.
guilty, really, really guilty with using. plastic bottles. Guys, you have no idea how harmful and how, I could say, inhumane it is for you guys to use bottles, water bottles, sorry. They all end up in the ocean. And if you were with us, Umayma, or if like the viewers could have experienced the thing that we have experienced back in 2019 when we were cleaning beaches, there were some ports, there were some places, locations that were unbearable, that we had to come back to like for 3 times. I'm not even exaggerating. We would come and we would clean and we would say, oh, this is not done yet. We have to come another time. And we would come to that exact same port. And again, we would say the same thing. So, like a maximum of 3 times, we would have to, go and clean. And we would see like multiple water bottles all over the place. And every time I think about it, it just, it revolts me. It is
Yeah.
something disgusting. So now whenever I see a water bottle, I try my best. I know I use once a month, I guess, when I'm really like dehydrated. That is when I, like grab the water bottle and I feel really, really um guilty, but in the same time I make sure that I recycle it. Like I do not just
Yeah.
throw it, and I would just keep it aside. I have like a bin bag here that has
Hmm.
all my plastic bottles, all my shampoo things, and there are some tags that you have to look for in order to know if
Yeah.
this specific product or specific thing is recyclable or not. So yeah, this is what I like, the small incident that I wanted to mention to people. Don't use water bottles. It's awful.
I think I have a question for you on that. A lot of
Go
people
ahead.
do know like plastic is harmful, especially if you're going to dispose in like the ocean places. That will harm the marine life over there, and it just harms the environment. Everybody kind of knows that. Why do you think we're still not able to, change our views of using that, like permanently stopping using
Oh,
plastic?
okay, I'll tell you why.
Hmm.
Because let me tell you, this our society, there are people, like I've mentioned, there are people who
Hmm.
take the initiative and try their best to stop using this harmful, inhumane thing. But
Yeah.
most of our societies are, let's face it, and I'm sorry, I don't want to degrade our society, but this is reality,
The
yeah.
truth. Yeah.
Our exactly the truth. Our society is lazy.
Hmm.
They just want like the fast thing. They want things that they can dispose. They don't want things that they have to wash, they have to bring with them, they would feel guilty. They'll be like, hey, this is my water bottle, do I have to take this every time I go to city center, every time I go to, sorry, where every time I go to the mall, every time I go to a shop? It's too much work, so why
Yeah.
don't I use a water bottle? This thing I can throw away. And no, not even throw it, dispose it in a general waste. Most of who I know,
Hmm.
or not who I know, like most of the people I observe, they would just throw it in the road. And this disgusts me. And it's something that really is agitating. And this is the main reason why people don't want to use reusable bottles, and they just tend to, go to the easy way. Let's face it, having a water bottle in my car is easier than me taking a water bottle at home and washing it and preparing it. That's the reason why. And in my opinion, I think the number one way for us to stop using
Hmm.
water bottles in this society, I realized money, which are fines, are the
Yeah.
optimum number one, sadly, the number one way for people to break out, or sorry, to break habits.
Hmm.
You just keep a price tag, let's say 50 dinar fine if you dispose
Use
the
a
water bottle in a general.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will, this will startle them. They would be like, oh my god, we're gonna stop.
Yeah.
But this is one thing. And another thing is, I can say that some people in our society are not well educated or not well informed that these water bottles can be recycled. Okay, if you don't want
Mm-hmm.
to stop using them, at least recycle them, at least dispose them in the right way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they do not know, not to everyone, but there are some people or most people here in our society, they don't know how it is, how what is the right way to recycle these water bottles. I mean, at least we
Right.
can do that.
Mm-hmm.
The one great initiative that happened here in Bahrain is the BSPCA organization here. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you've heard about them, but they collect water bottles and you like for some reason they would able to recycle them or send them abroad in exchange for money. And this money would be this money would be used to build or to get wheelchairs for those who have special needs. And so the concept is water bottles, donate, you would get a wheelchair, basically.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here in our society, a lot of people admired this, what do you call it, this initiative.
And yeah.
And they really got motivated. And I see till this day, many people know that, oh, we know about this organization, we know about the society, BSPCA. No, sorry, it's not BSPCA. This is the animal shelter. There's another abbreviation for that. They are, or is it? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. This is like the
It's
weather is too
okay.
awesome today, and I'm just looking a bit outside, and I'm getting confused with the abbreviations. But yeah, this society for special needs. They have this kind of initiative. Let's support them. So this is kind of nice, for people to
Yeah.
find this kind of motivation for them to do the right thing.
Yeah, definitely. And again, following up after that, what do you think the next steps are? What do you think can actually, change? I mean, for now, these are like steps that motivate you. And but you
Yeah,
still said that, a larger part of our society are lazy or not, are not
yeah,
doing or not following up what is right. What do you
yeah.
think the next steps are?
Okay. I believe that we should continue with our message. We
Mm-hmm.
should continue making awareness or spreading awareness in our society. The next steps would definitely include your platform, my platform, Manam Shaper's platform, every platform there is cooperating to send
Mm-hmm.
a greater message to GCC countries. This is the next step. We have to continue in believing in what we have. We have to continue in believing on what voice we own,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how our society will grow. And this is how our society will have a like will regenerate another way of thinking. You will see our dads, our moms being influenced. I don't know about you, but like my parents, even like their lifestyle has changed as well because of me, not only in the environmental aspect but also like in education or whatever, their train of thoughts change. So like I've mentioned before, the little impacts, if we just continue doing whatever we are doing right now, in the future, things will definitely change. I have a lot of faith in our generation, to be honest. Things can change to the better for sure.
For sure. And I
Yeah.
guess I have one more question for you. So,
Okay.
the Bahrain EcoHub, and we've seen other platforms also, they're getting bigger, and you're having a wider influence on our community. Do you feel like you can influence any change in the laws we have locally, considering how common things like littering and releasing combustion fuels, as Bahrain is the
Yeah.
seventh most polluted country in the world, if I'm
Yeah.
correct. Is there anything you're doing to
I
get
know
across?
it's
Yeah, go ahead.
y- okay. So, pardon, what was your question? Is there anything that?
Oh, yes. Is there anything you're doing to also get across to older generations in order to make a more eventful impact?
Okay. Um, so the impact that has to happen, let me tell you something. Our
Mhm.
country, Bahrain, mashallah. they have like municipalities have done a lot of work. Okay, they've
Mm-hmm.
done a lot of work to spread the message, a lot of work to keep banners, to spread awareness about not littering, about conserving beaches. They have they've made conventions, events before the pandemic itself. They invited
Mm-hmm.
us to participate in these events. We did a lot of things with the government or these municipalities. And um, you know what should happen? Our society has to work harder. And
Yeah.
the answer to your question, to why or how are we gonna influence an older audience, would definitely be through um from what I noticed, older people would listen to like younger people, like
Mm-hmm.
some people who are in their intimate circle, if it makes any sense. Like my
Yeah.
dad or my mom or my grandparents would listen to their grandchildren, their children themselves. you know like
Yeah.
I feel like people learn from people. This is how it is.
Yeah.
And the all like the older audience would not be really into social media and all that. They're always into WhatsApp broadcasts about you know
Yeah.
different topics. But how, if you would ask your mom, mom, how do you know about this? She would tell me, yeah. She would tell you, yeah, I knew this because of your sister, or yeah, I would knew this because of your brother or your little cousins. They get influenced by younger people because, let's be honest, younger people now know a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
You never know. I get inspired myself from my little cousin. She's 7 years old. And till this day, I can't believe how she can still configure technology more than I do. She would know more about Microsoft Teams than I would ever know. She would know how to, set up meetings, and she's 7. And I'm like,
Wow.
like, teach me. Yeah, exactly. I would get
We need
inspired
to
from
meet
her. I would
this
tell her,
little
teach
cousin of
me.
yours.
De- she is Umayma. Noor is one of the smartest people I've ever met. MashaAllah, she's amazing.
MashaAllah.
Um, and this is really the answer to our big question: how do older people get
Mm-hmm.
influenced? Just from their inner circle, from their intimate circle. They'll tell you, yes, this little cousin, I saw that she did this. I learned this thing from her. It's that type of train of thought that this is the reality.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as long as we're able to be persistent on, what we believe in and what we're trying to do for our community or for our society as well, mainly also for the environment, I think we can influence the older generations. And that is a brilliant answer that you've had.
Exactly, exactly. And especially with you, Umayma, keep your energy. Like I really love it. Um, I didn't expect that you would be younger than me. MashaAllah, يعني you're very mature, very mature. When I was 17, I it was 3 years ago, but I could say that I was يعني, a bit childish. I was, so bubbly and so innocent, and like I would talk to people and stuff, and like my
That's
tone
still
now
good.
with the tone before. Yeah, like before I used to be very hesitant and kind of shy. I would have anxiety like talking to
Hmm.
other people and telling them about my message. I'm like, "Hey, can you come?" No, like now it's like, "Hey, can you come?" you know. So
Yeah, you're like, hey,
your
listen.
type of yeah, exactly. Like, "Hey, listen, do you have time or not?" You know. Um, you your energy though is very positive, and it's very cute. You have to
Oh,
maintain this. It's a really
thank you.
gift.
I
It's
will.
a gift. Not a lot of youth here in not maybe GCC, but like in Bahrain, I can say that not a lot of people are, very, how can I say this? Like they are not very extroverted. Like they keep their
Hmm.
things very, to themselves. And, when someone stands out, they would just envy this person. They would say, hey, this person stands out. He kind of looks weird or whatever. But in reality, they would say, this guy is cool, or this person is cool. This girl or this guy has a bright future ahead of them. They already know what's gonna happen, and whatever they're gonna jump into is gonna be extraordinary. So that's what I also picture for you, Umayma. I feel like in the next years you're gonna shine more. So with this
Thank you
platform,
so much.
it's really
And
inspiring. You're
thank you so
you're
much,
most
Jumana.
welcome.
I think I want to say something on that. When I've been, communicating with youth from across the region, I think a lot of these people just popped out of nowhere and they're like, well, I'm passionate about this, but I've never tried, you know, talking about it. I've never tried actually putting it out there, our message. And just
Mm,
these little steps of reaching out and, even by email or, by a simple text, I feel like they're starting to see more of the opportunities that they have available today. And going back to what you said about us connecting the older generations to what we believe in and what we can kind of have an impact, I think
mm,
we also need to start believing in ourselves and believing in our power to create that impact.
exactly.
And yeah, so it doesn't
Definitely.
matter. I mean, of course, I'm not just right now, like I feel very comfortable talking to you too. I wouldn't say I'm the most extroverted. I do get anxiety sometimes.
Yeah,
But
I
I think
understand.
I think the passion kind of overpowers that little anxiety in between.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
That if you did not tell me this point, I would say this girl is really extroverted. She has a lot of energy. But you've mentioned this, and this is kind of an eye opener. And you're so right about the passion. You have to have it in order to conquer any fear you have. That's true.
Yep. And so just before we close off, do you have any piece of advice that you'd like to give to the youth out there?
What is gonna be my advice? Don't be afraid to shine. I guess that is my advice. Don't be afraid to spread your message, no matter what it is. Believe in what you have, believe in your message. You can definitely make a change in this world. This is my advice, definitely.
Definitely short but powerful. Thank you so much, Joanna.
Of course, of course. It was really nice talking to you, Umayma. Have a great week.
Same here. Thank you so much for being here as a speaker and for being so inspiring. And I'm sure just once
No
we get
problem.
this launched, a lot of the youth is going to benefit from this talk. So thank you so much again for being
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, no problem. I wish things were different, to be honest. I
Yeah.
wish we could meet in person. I wish there are more in-person things. Like this is
Yeah,
the
definitely.
problem now
Hmm.
with the like entities with volunteer teams. I could say that we are also having our fair share of you know, we would feel distressed to make, cleanups and
Hmm.
things right now, to make events just because now it's a different time, you know. Um,
Yeah.
People are not able to see each other in person, and I keep expressing how important it is to have these face-to-face interactions with each other. It's a different
Yeah.
sense, but
Yeah,
definitely we can conquer this, hopefully,
yeah.
by the middle or the like mid 2021. Inshallah, things are gonna look up.
Inshallah.
They're gonna
Yeah,
be
inshallah things
in a
will get
more
better.
positive.
We get this. Yeah, definitely, inshallah.
Ya Rab, I hope. I hope.
I hope
All right,
too.
Umayma. I'm not gonna
Thank you
keep you
so
for long. I
much.
apologize.
No,
No
no worries.
problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.